Mitch. Come on in.
It's dark in here.
I like the dark. It's comforting.
I don't think I've ever seen you in the light. That's a fact.
Is it?
I don't think I've ever seen you in the afternoon.
Whose fault is that?
You never want to go out in the afternoon.
Why, Mitch, you're at the plant in the afternoon.
Not Sunday afternoon. I've asked you to go out with me sometimes on Sundays. But you always make an excuse. You never want to go out till after 6. Then it's always someplace that's always not lighted enough.
There's some obscure meaning in this, but I failed to catch it.
I think we need to turn on the light in here.
Light? Which light? What for?
This one with the paper thing on it.
What'd you do that for?
So I can take a look at you. Good and plain.
Of course you don't mean to be insulting.
No, just realistic.
I don't want realism. I want magic. Yes, magic. I try to give that to people. I misrepresent things to them. I don't tell the truth. I tell what ought to be the truth. And if that's a sin, then let me be damned for it. Don't turn that light on. Ah!
I don't mind you being older than what I thought. But all the rest of it? Christ! That pitch about your ideals being so old-fashioned and perfect? And the malarkey you dished out all summer? Oh, I knew you weren't 16 anymore. But I wasn't full enough to believe you was straight.
Who told you I was straight, my loving brother-in-law? And you believed him?
I called him a liar first, and then I checked on the story. First I asked our supply man, who travels through Laurel, and then I talked over long distance to this merchant.
Who is this merchant?
Kai Faber.
Oh, the merchant Kai Faber of Laurel. I know the man. He whistled at me once, and I put him in his place. So now, for revenge, he makes up stories about me.
3 people, Blanche. Kai Faber, Stanley, and Shaw. Swore at him.
Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub, and such a filthy tub.
Didn't you stay in a hotel called the Flamingo?
The Flamingo? No. The place was called Tarantula. I stayed in a hotel called Tarantula Arms.
Tarantula?
Yeah, like the big spider. It's where I used to take my victims. Yes, I had many intimacies with strangers after the death of Alan. Intimacies with strangers is all I seemed to be able to fill my empty heart with. And I think it was panic, just panic, that drove me from one to another, hunting for some protection here and there, in the most unlikely places. Even it lasted a 17-year-old boy, but somebody wrote the superintendent about it. This woman is morally unfit for her position. True, yes. Somehow, anyway. So I came here. I had nowhere else to go. And I was played out. Do you know what played out means? It means, suddenly, there goes my youth up the water spout. And I met you. And you said you needed somebody. Well, I needed somebody too. And I thank God for you, because you seem gentle, like a cleft in the rock of the world that I could hide in. And I guess I was hoping, asking for too much. Kai Faber, Stanley, and Shaw have tied an old tin can to the tail of the kite.
But you lied to me, Blanche. You lied.
Don't say I lied.
Lies, inside and out.
Not in my heart. I didn't lie in my heart. What? Somebody at the door?
¿Flores? ¿Flores para los muertos?
No, not now.
¡Flores! ¡Flores para los muertos!
Crumble and fade, and regrets, recriminations. If you'd done this, it wouldn't have cost me that.
¡Flores para los muertos!
Legacies, huh? And other things like bloodstained pillow slips. Her linen needs changing. Yes, Mother, But couldn't we get a colored girl to do it? No, of course not. Everything gone but the...
Flores.
I used to sit here, she used to sit there, and death was as close as you are, but we didn't dare to admit that we'd ever heard of it.
Flores para los muertos.
And the opposite is desire. Do you wonder? How could you possibly wonder? At Belle Rev, before we had lost Belle Rev, was a camp where they used to train young soldiers. On Saturdays, they would go into the town to get drunk.
Flores. Flores para los muertos. Flores.
And on the way back, some of them would stagger onto my lawn and yell, "Blanche, Blanche!" And sometimes I would go out to answer their calls. And later, the paddy wagon would gather them up like daisies. A long way home. What do you want?
What I've been missing all summer.
Then marry me, Mitch.
I don't think I want to anymore.
No?
You're not clean enough to bring in the house of my mother.
Well, get out of here quick before I start screaming fire. Get out of here quick before I start screaming fire.